the other thing, I interviewed Mike and Slim, and they talked about
Nice.
how you
Oh,
guys
nice.
yeah, from 112, how you guys discovered them, and they owe so
Yeah.
much to you guys. What was the for the record, that debut album is, I think, one of the best debut albums. It's a no skip album.
Mm,
It's one album
thank
I
you.
used to, even now I listen to it. I don't skip any track.
Ah, thank you. Thank you,
I mean,
man. Like,
that is one of the best debut albums. I just love the whole vibe of it. It is, yeah. Well, they're just one of the best. And as I said, I've always loved 112. I
thank
think
you.
that debut album, and Mike was saying that you guys were grooming them to you wanted to sign them, but before Puffy came in and scooped them up, but you still did the work you guys did. How did that whole thing happen? Because they give you a lot of credit when, as I said, and
Yeah, man, because it was crazy because our barber at the time would come by and cut our studio, Dallas, because when we first signed to Dallas, we like, we needed a barber. He's like, I got a barber for y'all. Because Dallas had dreads,
oh
but he's
yeah,
like, yeah, I got a barber. So this guy, Courtney Seals, come up, he was coming up to the studio cutting hair. And everybody knows Courtney in Atlanta. He goes by Bear, but everybody knows him because he's managed a lot of artists and everything now. But back then, this is the beginning of his career. He was an amazing barber. So he's cutting our hair one day. He's like, "Hey man," because he's seeing all the people we working with, and he's hearing us going to Dallas because at this point we like maybe 6 to 9 months into working for Dallas, and so no, actually, it was probably about a year because kept asking Dallas, man, like, man, what can we do to start getting singles? Because we're working on a lot of big projects. We ain't getting no singles. Dallas said, y'all need your own artists, man. Y'all should find yourself a group. So Courtney would hear Dallas tell us all this. So one day
uh-huh.
Courtney came to us and said, hey, man, if I start bringing singers in here, man, can we put a group together? It was like, yeah, let's do it. That's how 112 came together. Courtney, one by one, would bring these guys in. Q from 112 was actually in another group with Wingo from Jagged Edge. They were in a group together.
Wow.
And so like all these things happened and like we realized we wanted Q because of his tone and the way his false was. It was different than Slim's. They all had different tones. Duran was amazing. He played like
Mm.
Mike had the really soulful voice. Like they all had different individual voices. So over the course of maybe a few months, we realized that was the four we need to go with, and we just started demoing songs right there in Dallas studio. And so, like, I'll skip to the end of the story. Basically,
Oh,
we
no, don't
developed
skip.
them for
Don't
about a
skip.
year.
We've got
No,
time.
no, I was just gonna say,
Okay.
like, we developed them for about a year and a half.
Wow.
And so, now the same time, we all because it's funny. After Dallas signed us, a week later, we met Puffy. He was working at Uptown, but he came
Okay.
to Atlanta because him and Dallas were even best friends way back then. He was an A&R from Uptown. So we met Puff like the first 2 or 3 weeks of even being signed to Dallas. He was one of the first people we met. Because
Wow.
Puff was like, yeah, play me some stuff I'm working on. I'm A&R Mary J's album right now. So that's how we started our relationship with Puff. And so anyway, fast forward, like after we going through like developing them, like literally like spending time with them, going to their high school graduations, you know, getting them comfortable with singing with a room full of women. And it was so shy and bashful. And so like, it definitely was a process.
Okay.
And then Kevin Wells came in. Kevin is Another Bad Creation was his group he had put together, you
Okay.
know, and then Mike Bivins signed him. But Kevin came in the picture and like, took everything to another level, like with their dressing, with their whole like swag.
Yeah.
Anybody know K Wells? They know Kev is like master of artist development. And so like it's funny because it's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. We came out to LA to work on a remix for Boys to Men. Kevin calls us, it was like, hey man, Puff wanna sign the kids, man. He going crazy. But at the time, Randy Jackson from American Idol,
Yeah. 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 Randy. Yeah.
Randy was working at Columbia.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We had already had a great relationship with Randy. Was the first executive we met, probably in the music business. One of the very first executives we met that didn't live in Atlanta. Because he
Yeah.
would come down
He was
like
in LA.
always
Yeah.
like put us on projects, and we were just always working with Randy. So I always had a great relationship with Randy. So Randy wanted to sign 112 so bad. And they were called Forte at the time. Randy literally flew down like 2 or 3 times to meet, just to listen to them sing. And so we telling Kevin, like, man, Randy want to sign him. He's like, I don't know, man. You know, Puffy's about to blow up with Biggie and Craig Mack. And I don't know, it's a good look, man. Well, let's figure it out when y'all get back. We get back, they already signed a Bad Boy.
What?
They was already signed a Bad Boy. And yeah. And it was, for a minute, it was really messed up. Like Dallas was furious because, you know, Dallas is kind enough to let us, well, I ain't gonna say he let us because we had to pay for the studio time ultimately. We spent like $100,000 in studio time on demos with those guys. Dallas took it real personal. And then him and Puff's friendship was like, for a brief second, was cut off. Literally, they didn't speak to each other. Like, they had some like not so kind words to say to each other about it. And like, Puff was like, man, I didn't know this was Tim and Bob's group. And Dallas like, yes, you did. Everybody knew this was Tim. Everybody in Atlanta knew this is Tim and Bob group. Like, Dallas was furious. And so next thing you know, Dallas was like, now they got to do an album without Tim and Bob. And so it was like, dang. So we went on and started doing other stuff. One night, Puff called my phone. It's like, yo, man, this ain't working, man. Because they went and got Devontae to produce a whole album on them. And it just wasn't the same. As and Devontae is one of the GOATs.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
Huge inspiration to us.
Yeah.
And so, but they couldn't get the vibe right. So Puff called my phone. Said, hey, man, we gotta figure this out, man. Can't do this album without y'all cats, man. We gotta figure this out, man. Seriously, man. Let's come together, man. Come on, man. Seriously, I need y'all for this album, man. We gotta do it. So I called Tim. I said, hey, man, Puff just called me, man. What do you think, man? Let's just do it. Let's just do it for them, man. They innocent, man. So that's when we called Dallas. Dallas was like, nah, nope. Y'all ain't working with them. It was like, Dallas, we literally had to talk Dallas into letting us do it. So finally Dallas said, all right, go ahead and do it. I don't want to hear nothing about it then. Like, he was really mad about it. It took Dallas a minute to get over that.
Wow.
And so we went up to New York for about a month or 2, and did the album. And that's what happened. And it's funny because like maybe 4 or 5 of those songs were actually songs that Boyz II Men didn't use on their album.
Wow.
We redid them on Boyz II Men. I'm sorry, on 112.
12.
Now that we're done, that was originally a Boyz II Men song that didn't go on the 2 album. Can I Touch You? That was a Boyz II Men song that didn't go on the 2 album. Yes. Yes, sir. So that's how it came about, man.
You know, it is, as I said, I started and finished it. I don't skip one. You know, most albums, back in the 90s, they had 18, 17 tracks, and you skip through. You don't skip that album.
That album, man. Yes, man. That was a special album, man. We had a lot of fun making it too.
Whose idea was it? Because Slim has one of the most unique voices, and I just love those guys. When they were 4, I know that they've got the issues right now, but back then, it's just that Slim sounded so different. And then, as I said, Q and Mike, and it was just.
I know. You know what I loved about Slim voice? Slim voice reminded me of Kevon from After 7.
Oh,
that's what I always loved about Slim's voice. Kevon has one of the most amazing voices ever.
Yeah.
And but something about Slim's voice reminded me of Kevon and me personally. So that's what I loved about it. And so then it was interesting. I never forget the day that Puff, this is a call that he made, and I got to give it up to him at work. 2 things. He called one day, was like, hey, from now on, Slim got to lead all the songs. It was like, huh?
Wow.
It's like, nah. He said, every group need a leader. Slim is, from now on, from this moment on, Slim is the leader of the group.
What?
And we was like, it's like, yeah, man, he got to do it. It's got to be done. The other guys got good voices, but it ain't translating right on these records, man. This ain't feeling right. They need to feel younger and hit voice. So that's how it's got to go, man. I know they all, you know, they don't want to look at it like that, but it's how it's got to be. And I'm glad that he made that call because it, you know, it worked. And another call that Puff made that nobody wanted to do, came time for the single to come out. Montel Jordan was putting out, I always get their names. Which one, Montel, that did This Is How We Do It? Is that Montel Jordan?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah,
that was Montel Jordan, right?
I
get the last name mixed up.
Yeah, it is.
He was coming out with the single that had the exact same beat as Only You, the original Only You. I called Puff, I was like, hey, man, we got to go to a different single, man. Montel Jordan coming out with this song that got the same sample. Yeah, okay, yeah. And Puff said, wait a minute, really? He got a song that's coming out with the same sample? Like, yes, the exact same sample. So, man, we need to go to, because we all wanted Come See Me to be the first single. So then Puff was like, oh man, it was classic Puff. Like, I really wanted to be, and basically he was happy that Montel had come out with the same thing. That's how competitive Puff is. That's one thing I can give up to him. He's like, oh, it's really the, I can't say how he really said it because it was like some cuss words in there. I'll keep it clean. But he was like, I really wanted to be the first singer. Now that just made my day. Let's go. Like, what? But he was already thinking ahead, okay, we could do a remix. We're going to put Biggie on the remix. And the rest was history, man.
Wow.
Only You came out with Biggie. Room 112, Where the Players Dwell. That was it. And so we all had to be like, wow, he was right. And so, yeah, man.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of.
And somewhere in between
us, or even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They don't understand what Jonas boys do in all spirits.
Play it.
These guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different genres.